yetu yetu liye mbinguni yetu yetu, amina. Baba yetu yetu liye kunjina lako litukuzwe.
Baba yetu yetu liye mbinguni yetu yetu, amina. Baba yetu yetu liye kunjina.
Hi, my name is Sid. Welcome to Civilization 4. In this tutorial, you will learn the basics of the game. While there are many complex concepts in this game, the objective is simple. Create and maintain an empire which will stand the test of time. You will guide your empire as it learns to hunt and gather. Your people will learn religion and develop new ways to govern themselves. You will compete against other civilizations to expand territory and learn new technological secrets. In time, other civilizations may fall to your wrath or wit, or you to theirs. There are many ways to achieve victory, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's begin with the first turn of play. You will begin each game with a settler unit. Click on the settler by placing the cursor over the settler and pressing the left mouse button. This unit is now activated and ready to be given orders. You can tell when a unit is selected because their unit flag will glow. I have moved the camera into the fog of war, the darkness covering each new and unexplored world. Press C to center the camera on the selected unit. The settler has one purpose: to build your city. Choosing the best location to build your city is the key to its prosperity. For now, I will recommend where to build your city with this blue circle. Move your settler to the blue circle by clicking on the circle with the right mouse. Congratulations! You have successfully moved your settler unit. Cities are the building blocks of your empire. To have your settler unit found a city, click on the Build City button in the user options across the bottom. The primary role of a city is to produce units and buildings. Let's get you familiar with building units. At this stage of the game, you need to defend your empire from wild animals, barbarians, and other civilizations. So let's construct a warrior. A warrior is the weakest military unit in Civ. They can only move 1 square per turn and have an attack power of 2. Eventually, you will gain access to more powerful units. But for now, select the warrior from the Build menu. You have completed all the moves available to you this turn. If you are unfamiliar with turn-based games, think of this in terms of a board game. The units you control can move once per turn. When you finish your turn, the other players begin theirs. Click the flashing red button to end your turn, or press the Enter key on your keyboard. Congratulations! You have successfully completed your first turn. As you can see, the calendar on the top right advanced from 4000 BC to 3960 BC. You have 2 more turns until your warrior unit will finish building. End your turn twice more. End your turn once more. Well done! You now have a warrior unit to defend your nation. Since you have finished building the warrior unit, your city needs to know what it should build next. Exploration of the surrounding terrain is your next order of business. So let's construct a scout unit. Scout units move 2 squares per turn, but are unable to attack enemies. Build a scout unit. There appears to be a marauding lion unit on the outskirts of Rome. Wild animals and barbarians will often attack defenseless units, such as settler units and worker units. Take an aggressive stance in defending your cities, and move your warrior unit east towards the lion. Your warrior unit has moved as far as he can in 1 turn. Pointing the mouse at a unit will display its statistics in the bottom left corner. The number next to this symbol shows how many squares the unit can move per turn. Since your warrior unit has gone as far as it can go, end your turn. Notice the lion and your warrior both have a combat strength of 2. If you point your mouse cursor at a unit and look at the pop-up help, the unit's combat strength is indicated by a symbol. Combat strength tells you how strong your unit is compared to other units. The time for battle is upon us. To attack the lion unit, move your warrior unit into the lion's square. You have beaten the lion unit. Great job. Move your warrior back to your city to defend it.
Praesti sumus.
If an enemy unit moves into an unprotected city, they automatically capture it. When a player loses all of their cities, they lose the game. The Fortify order tells your unit to stay where it is and repel all attacks. The unit will remain fortified until you give it new orders. A fortified unit gains a 5% defensive bonus for each turn it remains fortified, up to a maximum of 25% after 5 turns. Activate your warrior unit located in Rome and click the Fortify button.
Praesti de actione.
Please end your turn. You have completed training a scout to explore the surrounding wilderness. We have built enough units for now. Let's move on to buildings. The first building you are going to construct is an obelisk. An obelisk increases the amount of culture a city produces. I will explain culture after the obelisk is finished. Exploration brings many gifts: knowledge of the lands, locations of your competitors, and the very useful tribal village. Tribal villages may be friendly or hostile. Friendly tribal villages provide you with gold, units, technology, or knowledge of the surrounding lands. Hostile villages spawn barbarians who attack everything around them. One of the advantages of the scout is any tribal village it encounters will always be friendly. Move the scout to the tribal village to the west. Since the tribal village is farther away than the scout can move in one turn, you can use the Go To button to send it on its
Quid
way.
consilium est?
The Go To button will order a unit to move to a specific location, even if it takes more than one turn. Click the Go To button, or press G, and then click on the tribal village. Continue to end your turn until your scout arrives at the tribal village. The tribal village provided a map of the surrounding area. There is another tribal village to the north. Use the Go To button to move to the other tribal village. Continue to end your turn until your scout arrives at the tribal village. This tribal village gave you gold. Gold can be used to pay for the upkeep of buildings and units, or to research new technologies. I will explain how in a bit. As you move your units around the map, they will push back the darkness to reveal the newly explored terrain. Knowledge of the surrounding terrain will assist with the expansion of your kingdom. Feel free to explore the map with your scout. You have completed your obelisk and increased the amount of culture your city produces. Each of your cities has a colored area representing the borders of your nation. This border shows how far your city's influence reaches. As your city's culture increases, your borders will expand. Currently, Rome produces 3 culture per turn. When Rome's total culture is greater than 10, its borders will expand. This will occur in 4 turns. Rome's borders will expand further when its culture reaches 100, 1,000, 10,000, and so on. Since your obelisk is constructed, let's build a unit to improve the land around your city. This is the function of the worker unit. Build a worker. The following lesson is one of the more important in this tutorial. I will explain how a city uses the land surrounding it. Notice there's a number next to the city's name. This represents the city's population. Rome's current population is 1. Each tile surrounding the city can provide food, production, and/or gold. Since our population is 1, only 1 tile can be harvested. Tiles being harvested are represented by the little hut on them. Changing what tile is being harvested is done through the city screen. To open the city screen, double-click on the city. Let's look at the 10 different components of the city screen. Growth and production. The top bar will show you how many turns it will take for your city to gain another point of population, while the bottom bar will show you how many turns it will take to finish constructing your current unit or building. Treasury. This area will be explained later in the tutorial. Building list. This list shows all of the buildings in the city and what they produce. Resource list. This area lists all resources the city has available to it. Resources will be explained later. Culture bar. This bar shows how much culture this city is producing each turn. Production list. This area allows you to change what units or buildings the city is constructing. Click on a unit or building to put it into the production queue. Production queue. This area shows what units and buildings are queued to be built in this city. Click on an item in the queue to remove it from the list. Specialist manager. This area allows you to remove population from harvesting tiles and make them specialists. Specialists focus on one aspect of a city's output, such as production or research. Tile manager. This section displays the tiles around the city. The white circles indicate which tiles are being harvested. Clicking on an unworked tile will cause the city to move a population to work that tile, if automation is turned off. City governor. This area allows you to turn on or off the tile manager. If the tile manager is turned off, the city will no longer automatically change which tiles it works. This area also allows you to order the tile manager to work tiles to emphasize production, food, or gold. Click Enter to exit the city screen. While we wait for your worker to finish building, explore the world with your scout.
Presti di azione!
Your worker has been completed. Now let's shift our attention to improving your military. The barracks is a very useful building because it allows you to immediately upgrade any new military units. To strengthen your military, build a barracks followed by a warrior. Tiles can be enhanced to yield additional food, production, or gold by building improvements on them. Worker units build improvements. Let's get started by building a few improvements around Rome. Move your worker to the blue circle. This tile is a perfect place to build a farm. Farms increase the amount of food produced by a tile. How fast a city grows and how large it can become is affected by how much food the city produces. The orange progress bar behind the city's name shows how close the city is to increasing its population. Mouse over the city to get details about the city's growth. Building a farm will increase the amount of food produced by this tile from 2 to 3. Farms can only be built on flat land such as plains and grasslands. Further, the tile must be next to a fresh water source, such as a river, lake, or oasis. To build a farm, click the Build Farm button in the Unit menu. Go ahead and build a farm on this tile. It will take a few turns to complete. Since your farm is done, move your worker unit to the next blue circle. This tile is a good location for a cottage. A cottage will increase the amount of gold produced by this tile by 1. In addition, cottages grow to hamlets after 5 turns, increasing their gold output to 2 gold. After 10 turns, a cottage becomes a village, increasing the gold output of the tile to 3 gold. Finally, after another 20 turns, a village becomes a town. Increasing the gold to build a cottage, click the Build Cottage button in the unit menu. Build a cottage on this tile. Since your cottage is done, move your worker unit to the next blue circle. This tile is an excellent location for a mine. Mines increase the amount of production a city produces. The more production a city has, the faster the city can produce units and buildings. This hill tile would normally provide 1 production, but with a mine, it will provide 3 production. Mines can only be built on hill tiles. To build a mine, select your worker and click the Build Mine button in the unit menu. Build a mine on this tile. Since your mine is finished, feel free to use the worker to improve other tiles within your borders until your barracks are completed.
Ita?
Your barracks are finished. Now all military units built in this city will receive a free promotion. Put the barracks to work and build a warrior. It will take a few turns to construct your warrior. The unit you have just produced is eligible for a promotion because of the barracks. A unit can also become eligible for promotion by gaining experience for defeating enemy units in battle. A promotion improves the unit's abilities. Each promotion has a specific effect. For example, the Woodsman 1 promotion will increase the warrior unit's power when defending in jungle and woods by 20%. Select your new warrior and choose one of the promotions from the unit option bar. We should start planning to expand your civilization. To found a second city, you will need to build a settler. A city stops growing while it is building a settler or worker. Growth resumes once the unit is complete. This is because all of the excess food that is used for growth is instead used to aid in the production of the unit. Select a settler unit from Rome's Build menu. It will take a few turns to construct your settler.
quid consilium est?
Your settler unit is now ready to found a new city. Let me explain how to discern a good location for a city. Anytime that a settler is selected, icons will appear in each of the tiles showing how much food, production, and gold are produced by that tile. It is best to found a city in locations that have an abundance of food, production, and gold. Blue circles also appear in areas that the game believes are good locations for new cities. Move your settler unit south to the blue circle to found your city. Build your second city in this location.
Praesti de actione!
You have done well thus far, so I'm going to stop telling you what to produce out of your cities. I would recommend that you continue to increase your army and build more cities. Now that you understand how to build units and how to expand your civilization, I think it is a good time to show you how to research new technologies. Some advanced technologies allow you to build more powerful units and buildings. For example, in the future, your empire will learn the gunpowder technology, allowing your cities to build musketmen. How long it takes your empire to learn new technologies depends on the amount of money your empire generates and how much of that gold is dedicated to research. The amount you dedicate to research is controlled by the plus and minus buttons in the top left corner of the main screen. The greater the percentage of gold you dedicate to research, the faster you'll learn new technologies. And of course, the lower the percentage, the slower you'll learn. Above the research controls on the main screen is your treasury. Your treasury shows how much gold you have. When you increase your research funding, less gold goes into your treasury. It is important to watch your treasury. If it ever goes negative, some of your units and buildings may be lost. Up until now in the tutorial, research has been turned off so that we could focus on other aspects of the game. Research is now enabled. Researching archery will allow you to create archer units. Select archery from the technology selection window. It may take a few turns for your research to yield discoveries.
Finita?
Now that you have learned archery, your cities can build archer units. Archer units are stronger than warrior units. They also receive a bonus when defending cities and hills. Let's research masonry next. Masonry will allow your worker units to build a quarry improvement on the stone resource next to your second city. After you complete your research of masonry, I will explain the use of stone. It may take a few turns for your research to yield discoveries. I am going to disable research once again while I explain the next lesson. By discovering masonry, you are now capable of making quarries and gathering your first resource. Resources are special raw materials a city has access to. Some materials, such as stone and marble, let your cities construct certain buildings faster. You need to build a quarry improvement on the stone in order for Antium to gain its benefits. Move your worker unit to the blue circle and construct a quarry.
Praesti ad imperia. Praesti sumus.
You have built a quarry and provided Antium with the stone resource. Now you want to give Rome access to the stone as well. To do this, you need to set up a trade route between the two cities. The simplest way to establish a trade route between your cities is to build a road connecting them. A road will allow your cities to share the benefits of resources. To build a road to Rome, click on the Route to Mode button in the Workers Unit option menu, and then click on the city you want the road to go to. I'll continue as soon as the road is complete. Now that you have stone in 2 of your cities, you may want to construct your first wonder, Stonehenge. You can think of a wonder as a sort of super building. Many wonders, such as Stonehenge, are unique and can only be built once in the entire game. Thus, if another civilization builds a wonder first, you can no longer build it. Civilizations often race to build wonders. If you build it, Stonehenge will provide an obelisk in every city you control. Build Stonehenge in one of your cities. Even though the game is just beginning, it is never too early to think about winning. There are 6 victory conditions, ways to win, in Civilization 4. The most peaceful way to win is a diplomatic victory, where you gain strong allies and friends, and once the United Nations is established, you are voted world leader. You win a domination victory by expanding your empire to cover 70% of the land area of the world while controlling 25% of the world's population. Cultural victory is won by having 3 of your cities obtain legendary culture status. That is, each must have a culture value of 50,000 or higher. You can win a space victory by being the first nation to research and then build a spaceship that can make a flight to Alpha Centauri. Eliminating all other civilizations from the game gives you a conquest victory. If nobody achieves any of the previous victory conditions by 2050, then the civilization with the highest score wins the score victory. Now that you know how to win, I want to turn your attention towards religion. Religions affect your empire in many ways, but their primary benefit is that they provide happiness to your people. Happy citizens are more productive. If you have too many unhappy people in a city, this symbol will appear over the city's name, and that city will generate less production. It is in your best interest to keep your citizens happy. To establish a religion, you must be the first civilization to discover a specific technology. For example, the first civilization to discover meditation will establish the religion of Buddhism. Once a religion is founded, it will spread to other cities along roads and trade routes. To get Buddhism, research meditation. It may take a few turns for your research to yield discoveries. Excellent! You were the first to discover meditation, and Buddhism has been founded. Your nation now has the option of making Buddhism its civilization state religion. Doing so will provide +1 happiness and +1 culture to every one of your cities with that religion. Click Start the Incantations, and Buddhism will become your state religion. Since your civilization has its own religion, it might be a good time to think about the way you rule your empire. Researching the technology of bronze working will unlock slavery as your first new civic option. A civic is an element of government. As your civilization improves technologically, new civics will become available to you. Slavery is an early option. As your civilization advances, eventually emancipation will be available as another choice. Research bronze working. It may take a few turns for your research to yield new discoveries. You have discovered bronze working and unlocked the civic of slavery. Slavery will allow you to sacrifice your city's population to hurry production in your cities. This is useful when a city is under imminent attack and you need to quickly create a unit to defend it. Sacrificing population in this way causes unhappiness in your city. It should only be used as a last resort. Converting your government to a new civic will cause your empire to go into anarchy for one turn. During anarchy, your cities will not produce anything. You should continue expanding your empire and seek out another civilization.
Quod expectas? Praesti sumus. Quid consilium est? Praesti de actione. Praesti de actione.
You have met your first civilization, India. The leader of India, Gandhi, is a peaceful, industrious leader who will most likely be easy to deal with. However, do not expect to find Gandhi's peaceful tendencies in other leaders you encounter. Some leaders will be devious, others peaceful, and a few may be warmongers. Be careful interacting with them. For right now, it would not be wise to go to war with India. Select the "There will be peace in our time" button to tell Gandhi you would like your relations to remain peaceful. Having met another civilization, you will want to begin trading with him. Through diplomacy, you can trade technologies, gold, units, and cities. You can also form military alliances